All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Local People Helping Our Local Community. My name is Jimmy Yin. I'm a licensed acupuncturist, herbalist, and nutritionist here in Cedar Park. And during these COVID times when COVID first started in March, I was doing a lot of these interviews and kind of slow down since COVID has been easing off, but then it's ramping up again. And so today, I'm super excited to have Lindsey from BCL of Texas explain about actually a very an important program, especially if you're in Travis County. But before we get into the program, Lindsey, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, thanks so much, Jimmy, for having us on today. So, I'm the communications coordinator with BCL, Business and Community Lenders of Texas. So, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we've been doing economic development and working with small businesses in Texas since 1990.
Wow, it's a long time. And so, recently, I read on this on your website that you partnered up with Travis County to create this Thrive program. So what is this? Because even though I'm not in Travis County, but I do, pay attention to it, but I haven't heard about this Thrive County until, actually my wife that told me about your company and so forth. So what is that? What is the Thrive program?
Yeah, so the Travis County Thrive is Travis County's coronavirus relief program. And so Travis County and a lot of the local, areas got funding through the CARES Act
Yeah.
to help their own local communities. And so Travis County came to us and they said, hey, we want to do this relief program for small businesses that are in Travis County. And so BCL is actually administering the program on behalf of Travis County. So the program's through Travis County, but we're managing it, we're doing the reviews and the marketing and all of that kind of good stuff since we've been working with small businesses in the area for so long now.
Yeah, because it's actually in your wheelhouse already.
Yeah. So the program essentially, the main thing is that it is for businesses that are within Travis County, but are outside of the Austin city limits. Reason being, the city of Austin actually has its own funding through the CARES Act and has its own programs that you can go and check out if you're within the city of Austin. But if you're outside of the city of Austin and you're still in Travis County, whether that's a rural area or Pflugerville, Manor, Del Valle, Lakeway, Lago Vista, any of those smaller cities around that are within Travis County, your business is there, then that's the geographic eligibility.
Okay, yeah, because that's kind of important. So when the governor's doing these rules, they're saying Travis County, but they also say that if you read the orders, it says, oh, it still includes the city of Round Rock, city of Cedar Park. So this program does not cover like the city of Round Rock, city of Georgetown, city of Cedar Park.
Yeah, really good question. As far as Round Rock and Cedar Park, I
Uh-huh.
think I've been getting really good with looking at Travis County maps, Jimmy, the
Yeah.
last but I think there's little slivers of Cedar Park and Round Rock that are within Travis County. So if you are within Travis County, then absolutely. And if you're not, if you know you're in Williamson, then you wouldn't be eligible. But here's the thing: is we're running now through July 10th at
Mhm.
11:59. So there's a couple days left to do this, to get into this program. Is we're doing this pre-eligibility phase. And so the pre-eligibility is going to be 8 questions. It is required stuff. All businesses that want to get in on this funding, they are going to need to do this pre-eligibility,
Yeah.
but they can actually go in and check. And so we've had some people that kind of weren't quite sure if they were eligible. Maybe your address kind of falls on a boundary, or maybe you have an Austin address, but you're not really in a council district. So all those kinds of things. So we just say, hey, this is a $40,000 grant. And I want to emphasize it's a grant program. There's no repayment.
Yeah.
Businesses that are eligible, they just, they get the funds and they get to keep them. So it's definitely worth checking out. So if you think you might be eligible or you're not sure, just go ahead and submit the pre-eligibility quiz. It's 8 questions. So you go to our website, which is www.traviscountythrive.com. And you'll go there, you can read through. We've got a whole list on, who's eligible, the FAQs and what you can use the funds for. And then there's a link to do the pre-application. there's two ways you can do it. You can go through our grants portal, which is the preferred way, and you're essentially going to go and just create like a little profile on our grants website. And then from there, there's a PDF that has 8 questions about eligibility, and you answer those, you upload it, and we should get a decision to you. Right now, we're getting them to people within a couple days, up to maybe a week at most. But again, you've got till July 10th to do that. And that's the best way we can check. Because I will say we've had people calling and saying, hey, I live here, but I'm here. Do you think I'm eligible? And we're saying, well, we want to make sure we get you the right answer. And we've got a few different mapping tools we're using just to really verify. So the best thing you can do is just submit that pre-eligibility quiz. And then we've got our professional reviewers, and they'll check it all out. And then they'll let you know, hey, you're eligible, or no, you're not. And then if you are eligible, our full application opens on July 16th. And the reason we started, Jimmy, with this pre-eligibility phase is we saw that a lot of small businesses had barriers in getting some of the other programs, like the PPP or just some of the other programs. And we know that one thing was getting a bunch of documents together and doing this long application. It's not always easy for a really small business, and if they're racing against other businesses. So we said, we're going to create this pre-eligibility period just to let businesses check and see if they're even eligible. And so it's not like first come, first serve. As long as you submit that pre-eligibility by 11:59 on Friday, July 10th, then we'll consider you for eligibility, but you do have to get in by that day.
Okay, so let me just re-summarize to make sure I understand, and so the audience can understand also. So July 10th is only a pre-eligibility, application of 8 questions. You do not need to have your whole financials ready by July the 10th. You just need to answer 8 questions. Really, the full application starts, if you're eligible, starts at July 16th. So really, we're at July the 7th right now. So you've got over a week to really get your financials in order. Now, the July 10th is just purely to see if you're eligible.
That's great.
Yeah, so don't freak out if you don't have your financials. You've got shoe boxes of, receipts. You've got a week to get that sorted out.
Yeah, and in fact, so the full application, once it opens, it's a 2-week period. And again, it's not first come, first serve, because we don't want people having that, that time crunch.
Yeah.
So once the full application does open, businesses will have 2 full weeks to go ahead and get everything in. And we have technical assistance too. So this is a good time. I can give you the phone number. And so if businesses are working on that, and it's on the website, but if they're, looking at the pre-application and they have any questions or even just need help, uploading or working with the grants portal, they can just call us 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And the number is 512-994-2280. They can also email us anytime. It's info@traviscountythrive.com. But I do want to stress, before that eligibility period even, or before the application even opens, every single business, to be able to even do the application, they do have to do that pre-eligibility by this Friday.
Okay. Yeah, so that's super important. So one of, you mentioned something that probably a lot of people will have questions about. It's a $40,000 grant. It's up to. So how are y'all, or who is determining, and how is it determined how much of that 40,000 does each business get?
Yeah, really good question. So this grant is done on a reimbursement basis.
Okay.
And so the really great thing about this grant is it's going to be reimbursed for expenses going all the way up till March 1st of this year. Because we know that even if you get the grant right now, businesses have been having hardships and extra expenses since well before right now. So Travis County said, let's go back to when all of this started and go back to March 1st. And then businesses will be able to get expenses reimbursed. So starting March 1st all the way up to November 30th. The kinds of expenses they can get reimbursed, it's really wide. And so anything from their rent or their lease for their business property. Now, if you're running your business out of your house, that wouldn't qualify. But if you've got your storefront or your office or anything like that, machinery, equipment, food truck, utilities for your business, you can use it to pay for your suppliers and vendors. You can even use it for your payroll.
Mhm.
And then you can also use it for any PPP or any testing or any kind of extra equipment or technology that you've had to get because of COVID. So it's a really wide range of expenses. And
Yeah.
so, you know, you can kind of do your best estimate. That pre-eligibility, we don't want you plugging out your calculator and poring over spreadsheets for hours. Just
Yeah.
kind of give us your best guess of, you know, all those expenses from the period from March to the end of November. How much do you think it comes out to? If it's more than 40,000, well then just go ahead and apply for the max.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and I would encourage businesses to ask for as much as they think they can, because then when we do the full application, we'll really like verify all that. So
Yeah.
the pre-eligibility, kind of just give us your best guess and we'll go off of that.
Okay. So basically they submit all this information and your team basically sorts
Mhm.
through all of it and see,
Exactly.
what they actually qualify for.
Exactly.
And okay. And so is there you said it's not a first come first serve like the PPP,
Mhm.
the PPP ran out, I don't know, within a week. And
Yeah.
so, what if, y'all get an influx? If
Mhm.
it's not first come first serve, then what if the people that apply late are are y'all going to run out of money for the grant?
Yeah, really, really good question. So, what Travis County has done is they've set forth some priority groups. And
Okay.
so, a couple of things that Travis County wants to prioritize is equity. And so, they want to prioritize women and minority owned businesses. They want to prioritize businesses that are in low income areas and low income census tracts. And then, one thing, so we saw with PPP, a lot of the big businesses had a person submitting this on their behalf. And so Travis County said, hey, we're actually going to prioritize the businesses that are doing their own submission of the application. So that's another priority levels. If you're, which most businesses are, if they're really small, you're doing your own application, you're doing this yourself, that's going to be another priority. And then beyond that, they're going to look and make sure that they're hitting a range of industries, a range of, you know, sizes of businesses. And then they're going to be looking at that they're getting a good geographic distribution too. So essentially, you know, if everyone who does the pre-eligibility will say, yes, you're eligible, do the full application, or if you're not, you're not. But then once we get all the full applications, if we have more than we have funds for, that's where we've got a review committee approved by Travis County, and they'll start going through and prioritizing who gets the funding based on those guidelines they set forth.
Okay. So what is the how much funding did Travis County get for this
Mhm.
program?
Yeah, we have 9 million total that we're going to disperse.
Okay.
So we're estimating to work with about 225 up to 250 businesses.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Anything else that people may not think about that they need to be thinking about when applying or getting ready to apply?
Mhm. Yeah, really good question. A couple things I didn't mention. So, just to ensure they're small businesses, the cutoff that Travis County set
Mhm.
was businesses, their net income is $500,000 or less, and that's based on their 2019 revenue,
Okay.
since hopefully you'll already have or almost have done your 2019 taxes.
Should
Uh,
have.
yeah, hopefully. And then also 25 or fewer full-time equivalent employees. So those are the size cutoffs. And then as far as eligibility, you know, that geography is the big one, the size. And then if you read on the website, there's a couple types of ineligible businesses. So nonprofits are ineligible for this program. And then anything like religious organizations, political organizations, gambling, things like that. So there's a list of some kind of standards, exceptions that wouldn't be allowed. So I just say go on the website. Again, the traviscountythrive.com. You can kind
Mhm.
of read through and just make sure, you know, that you're hitting all those. But I would also say any doubts about, you know, if I'm eligible or not, hey, it's $40,000.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to take 10 or 20 minutes and just do that eligibility questionnaire and just check and see, and then we can let you know for sure. So we've kind of been telling people, you know, don't tell yourself no, like put it in and check and pre-apply and see.
Yeah, that's definitely a good recommendation. So that's good because the cutoff I liked about the it's almost like because small business is defined depending on who you ask, but according to the government, small business could be 100 employees. It could be
Mhm.
millions. They could be a net income of 10 million or something like that. So this program, it sounds like it's more focused, what I like to call micro businesses. The
Mm-hmm.
micro businesses are like what you discussed, their net income is, and it's net income, it's not gross income, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Net income of 500,000, right? So it's like, and then less than 25 employees. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what the statistic is, but I know it's like a large number of small businesses have zero employees, and
Yeah.
besides themselves.
Yeah, and those businesses are still eligible.
Yeah,
There's a section on the website, but as long as you're not eligible for unemployment,
yeah.
yeah, if it's just you or like the standard mom and pop business, Travis County really said we want to make this program accessible to those, yeah, those very small businesses as well as those ones getting up to 25 employees. And then the other thing that comes along with this program, Jimmy, is that we're doing small business coaching. So that's something we've always done.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so normally, and for anyone, whether